Hello, welcome to another episode of what do we have? Common Chaos Live with me, Christian Rauchenwald, on this rainy Tuesday afternoon. I hope you all had a great day so far and a great start into the new week. As always, in Common Chaos Live, we're taking a look at the questions that I get on my YouTube channel and also give you a chance to get the answers to questions that you might have. Now, if you're stumped, so if you're tuning in for the first time and you're wondering why you cannot leave a message in the chat, this is anti-spam measure, so you have to be a subscriber to the channel for at least one day. Then I will happily take the time to also address the questions that you have in the chat. Outside of that, as you can see, there is still chaos. As I mentioned in yesterday's episode, we recently moved and things are not yet fully set up, but I still wanted to get back to publishing already. Tomorrow we should get our new recording desk so I can set up our recording equipment and hopefully get to record a few more videos for the channel. But outside of the videos that will be anywhere from once per week to once per month, we're going to use these Monday to Friday daily live streams to give you information and provide you with updates and answer your questions. What else is there to say? As always, the usual disclaimer applies. Everything that I share in this live stream / video is my personal opinion and in no way financial or professional advice of any kind. You should always do your own research, consult certified professionals, draw your own conclusions, and make your own decisions. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously, don't forget to like, subscribe, and enable notifications so you don't miss out on future videos and live streams. And with that, I'm actually going to share that should be the button, screen with you guys. And we're going to jump into Agora Pulse this way, the tool that I'm using to manage YouTube comments because it's just better than the native YouTube interface. So for those of you here for the first time, what we're doing, again, we are going through the YouTube comments because those are the questions that people are asking about the different projects that I covered in the past. And usually those are also the questions that some of you might look for answers for. However, as mentioned, if you have other questions, feel free to share them in the chat and I will happily answer them as well if I am able to or point you in the right direction. So you might have seen Pi Network is now 5 years old or getting to like a little bit more than 5 years. It was like autumn 2019, so 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24. It's a little bit more than 5 years old. And it's already been on the mainnet for, I don't know, a year, more than a year. And more users get their coins migrated. And as a result, also more and more posts show up from people that got scammed and lost all their coins. For that, I actually made a video. Can I copy the link from here? Copy clean link. Does that work? Yeah. So, I'm gonna share that in the chat. Yeah. And then future, starting next week or so, we're gonna have somebody else take care of that. But for now, I have to do that. Got scammed? ? Here's what you have to do, need to do, what you need to do, what you have to do. So yeah, I said in the future, somebody else will take care of sharing those links that you also find them. But yeah, so the problem is Pi Network is a project that for many people is their first interaction with cryptocurrency. And as such, obviously, they are only focused on what they can gain from it. But many people, unfortunately, don't pay enough attention or read the stuff that's shown to them. And that leads people to not understand just how sensitive your own crypto wallet passphrase is. Yeah. Obviously, your passphrase is, it's kind of like the huge benefit and the huge downside that if you compare crypto with regular banking stuff in one go. Yeah, because if you have your regular bank account, you have your online banking credentials, your username and your password. And if you somehow forget them, for example, you just contact your bank and they will just reset your account and send you a new credentials. Yeah. Which is kind of like a benefit. So it means it's centralized, your online banking, because the bank is the central organization that controls your access and everything around it. Whereas crypto is decentralized. I mean, that's not 100% accurate, but just for this aspect of the topic, yeah, in which like you create a wallet that consists of, in that case, 24 words that come from a list of 2048 words. And that's a unique combination that there are so many possible combinations that it's next to impossible to brute force or guess your combination. Yesterday in the stream, we calculated and explained that if you, for example, forget 2 of the 24 words, there are more than 4 million possible combinations just for the remaining 2 words. Yeah? So while if you share your passphrase or you share 22 words of your passphrase, a computer could easily try 4 million combinations. A human definitely can't. Yeah? And if you now imagine that just for 2 missing words, or just to guess or calculate 2 missing words, there are 4 million combination, you can probably not even fathom, I cannot, just how many combinations there are to guess a specific passphrase. Yeah. Now, the problem with the passphrase is some people don't write it down securely. The other problem is people don't understand. This is like, if somebody asks you for your passphrase, it's literally the same as asking you for, could you give me your username and password to your online banking and then the transaction confirmation codes, please, as well? You wouldn't do that, so you also shouldn't share your passphrase. Now, obviously, whenever there's something to grab, scammers get creative, which is also the reason why, for example, there are websites that try to mimic the look of the Pi wallet, and there are just countless scams surrounding cryptocurrencies. Hi, Brandon Webster. I'm gonna answer that in a second. So there are countless scams surrounding cryptocurrencies, simply because it's like it's in quotes anonymous to some extent. If I steal money from your online banking, I have to wire it to another bank account. That other bank account also required an ID to open, unless I have some weird mule in between that doesn't know that he's being used, and get that person to withdraw the money and forward it to me. So with crypto, it's just easier to scam people. Yeah, that doesn't mean that crypto is a scam or something like that. It just means that some of the benefits of crypto also are the downside at the same time. Let's put it like that. If you got scammed, to finish answering that one comment real quick, what you have to do is you have to create a new wallet. You have to securely write down your passphrase. And just like I mentioned it yesterday, writing it down like this, word 1, word 2, word 3 in a document and saving it on your computer or your phone or something is not secure. Taking a screenshot of your passphrase is not secure. So you should either have it written down on paper, but then you also have to check from time to time to make sure that the words didn't, maybe, I don't know, the ink faded or whatever. Yeah. Ideally, obviously, you would have it engraved in metal and put in some bank depository box. Ideally, actually, you would split it up and have half the words on one metal plate and half the words on the other, and then both copies stored at different bank depository boxes and so on. But nobody can do that, or I mean, other than most people don't have access to that, and it's not worth paying for a depository box just for storing one passphrase and so on. Yeah. So the next best thing is actually to use a password manager, like 1Password, for example. Yeah. Which is secure in its own way, because, like, for example, 1Password, if you don't use your main email address, but you use an alias, then use a very complex password that you should remember. And then on top of that, there is a master key that you can print out again on paper, to store your 1Password credentials. And this way, if you then store your passphrase in 1Password, it's like in quotes, as secure as it gets compared to having some offline, really, really reliable solution. Yeah. The benefit is, if I write down my passphrase on this piece of paper here, and I then put it, maybe I have a safe at home and I put it in my safe. Well, then if somebody breaks in and cracks the safe, they have 24 words and they have instant access to my wallet. Yeah. Whereas if I, on this piece of paper, just write down the secure key for 1Password and only put that in the safe, and somebody cracks my safe and they have the secure key, they still would need to know which email address I'm using from my 1Password account, and they still would need to know my master password from my 1Password account. Yeah. So if you use, for example, a master password that's, 20 characters long, has a little bit upper, lower case, some special characters or so, and you don't have that written down anywhere, you just remember it, then 1Password is probably the securest way out there that's connected to the internet, again, outside of offline things, metal engraved plates that you store in different locations and so on, to store your passphrase. And long story short, never ever share your passphrase. So the only place where you should enter it is the Pi Wallet app. And there you should always double and triple check that the address is actually the official minepi.com domain and not some knockoff of it. Yeah. So hi Karim, by the way, and again hi Brendan. So Brendan asks, what do you think the price of Pi at start will be? Yeah. That's a tricky question, you know, because like you have like so let's look at what it's right now. So there are platforms like Trade Your Pi, which is probably, so not talking about individual offers where you and I agree on, okay, I'm selling you my phone and you give me that amount of Pi or vice versa. But I'm talking about vendors, so that handle multiple or more transactions. And I think Trade Your Pi is one of the biggest ones. So they have hundreds of positive reviews. I did transactions with them when I originally discovered them, that you can check out on my channel. Actually, one second, let's see if we find that playlist. I'm gonna share that real quick. So if you're curious, so in that playlist that I just shared, there are videos here, Pi Network, how to pay with Pi coins, and the one below. In the first one, so there are two vendors that used to be on Reddit. One of them then launched tradeyourpi.com as well outside of Reddit. And in the first one, I used Pi to buy Elden Ring from my Xbox. That was a little bit messy, not because of the transaction, but because I was too stupid to redeem the code. That's why that video is so long. And in the second one, actually, my wife, Irina, used some Pi coins to buy Hogwarts Legacy, simply because those are things we both wanted to have. We could buy them, and it served as an example. Yeah. Now, Trade Your Pi sells a lot of stuff. If we go to physical products, we can see, for example, there's a PlayStation 5 Pro. Let's actually check if we, or there's a search as well. Let's look for PlayStation. Yeah. So I don't have one, and I'm not gonna buy one. But so PlayStation 5 Slim. Okay. So if I now go to Geizhals.de, which is a German price comparison or European price comparison. So 5 Slim. And we can see that it's starting at around, let's say, 500 euro, yeah? So, or 525 euro. 525 euro to USD is around 550 probably, yeah, so 550, yeah? So now they here charge, wanted to charge launch the calculator. They charge 2,100 Pi. So we have to, math in my head is this way. No, let's do it right, the other way around. 550 divided by 2,100, yeah, which means they value Pi at 26 cents, yeah. So that's, and if we do it vice versa, times 200, yeah, so at 26 cents for this specific product. For other products, it might vary, yeah. Now you might argue, you might think this value is not fair, or it's too high or too low or whatever. But we also have to consider a lot of things when it comes about pricing. First of all, we have to consider the maximum supply, which is 100 billion. So that's 100 million. That's 1 billion. So that's 100 billion. So at 26 cents, the full supply, if I didn't forget a zero, would be $26 billion then, yeah. If we check CoinMarketCap, again, that would be the full supply. It's not, we cannot use the full supply. We care actually more about the circulating supply, but that's a different topic. If we check CoinMarketCap, why did I go? Oh, I wanted to go here, CoinMarketCap rankings. We can see at $25 billion, Pi Network would already be on spot number 10 by market capitalization. I mean, that would be fully diluted market capitalization because it would require all 100 billion coins to be in circulation, yeah. Yeah, now we have the block explorer for Pi Network, and there we should, or here we don't, God, it's been a while. Yeah, there we see, yeah. So we have the total migrated coins. That's what's currently migrated. So if we again launch our calculator and we take the migrated coins times 0.26, we get a value of 1.5 billion. Yeah, so technically less of that is available because we can see that out of those 5.7 billion, I think it's billion 369, yeah, 5.7 billion, 4.2 billion are actually still locked up. Yeah, so we have 1.5 billion. If we again, shouldn't have closed it, but if we again go back to CoinMarketCap for 1.5 billion, we can see that Pi Network would be right now. So with the, in quotes, circulating supply, although some of it is locked up, yeah, Pi network at 26 cents would be on spot number 69. So it would instantly be in the top 100 coins. Yeah. So, which in my opinion isn't bad. Obviously, if we drag that away, go back here, if we consider first, so copy this, so that number minus, yeah, I don't need the full number, sorry, I just wanted to have the first part. We don't need the commas, so again, that number minus what's locked up, so we have what's available. So we have 1.5 billion circulating, so really circulating times 0.26. So we can see that we would look at a $400 million market cap. Yeah, now for $400 million, Pi Network would still be not in the top 100, but maybe in the top 200. Yeah, so yeah, so somewhere here-ish. So top 200 coins. Yeah, which still is not bad. Yeah. Now obviously you have people that run around, especially in some poor, low-income countries, let's say like that, yeah, that, I don't know, there's a post, so that say the global consensus values is 314,000, yeah, which is just insane, because the average wallet has around 170 coins, because, so if we look 170 coins, if we say 314,000 per coin, then the average wallet would suddenly have $43 million worth of Pi, yeah, which is not going to happen. There is not going to be suddenly a million new Pi millionaires, or actually more, 10 million new millionaires. It just doesn't work like this, yeah. What's the actual value going to be? That's, however, then a tricky question. So I think, so if we look at it, I think Pi has a ton of potential. I think the Pi core team, what I mentioned in yesterday's stream as well, does a few things very well compared to other projects. So instead of rushing to the market, they actually insist that there is a certain number of so-called mainnet ready applications, which should help give Pi a use case. So if there would be some, like I shared yesterday, let's say there would be a dating app for crypto enthusiasts that works only with Pi. So like Tinder, but mostly for crypto people, because you can only use it within the Pi browser, and you have to, instead of paying with your credit card, you pay for your whatever super likes and whatever nonsense there is with Pi coins. Yeah. Now that could attract people that then buy Pi coins. And I think the Pi core team does that good, that they want to have a certain number of applications, but it remains to be seen. So there are two things to consider, or maybe more. First of all, there's going to be a lot of people in low income countries that will sell Pi no matter what the value. Yeah. Because if we have, so if we have 170 Pi and Pi would be worth $10, that would be $700. Yeah. No, actually, let's say if we have 170 Pi and Pi is only worth $1, it's $170. Yeah. If we now look, average monthly income, for example, Philippines. Sorry for the typos. Yeah. And you can see that would be half a month income in the Philippines on average. Yeah. Which means it actually is an amount that has a little bit of an impact for people in the Philippines. Which means if Pi is valued at $1, there would be a lot of pioneers in the Philippines that maybe live paycheck to paycheck right now, for whom selling at $1 would actually make a small difference, because it would be half a month's salary. They would have to work 2 weeks to earn that same amount of money, which means they likely can pay their electricity bill, food for at least 2 weeks, and some other stuff. Yeah. If Pi would be worth, I don't know, like $5, it becomes even worse, because the list of countries in which people would suddenly, get a noticeable amount for their Pi coins would grow, and the number of pioneers that would sell for that value and with that drive the price back down would also grow, which is like outside of 314,000 not being a reasonable expectation. If we just run the numbers, it would put me on it would turn me probably into one of the 10 richest people on this planet if Pi would have a value of 314,000. I don't believe that, but I'm just saying, so just to give you an idea. But so even at $1, there would be will be thousands of pioneers that will be willing to sell, because if they get $100 or $200 in cash right now, it makes a difference for them. Yeah. So there's going to be the balance between how great are the apps that are developed for Pi specifically. So how many people do they attract that want to buy Pi coins versus how many people desperately need the money and would cash out instantly if they can get $50, $20, $100 for it. Yeah. So I don't have a specific price that I think that should be it. Yeah. It feels like 26 cents isn't that much, but there are plenty of other cryptocurrencies. There are even projects that were initially more promising. If we look at High Dollar, it's like my Crux project or however you want to call it. Yeah. Look at this. Yeah. They actually have licenses in Europe and a lot of other countries. They have a metal crypto debit card. So there's no number on this side. Yeah. So a metal crypto debit card that allows you to spend your crypto. They have a staking program. They have a working mobile app with a better UI than High. They have a million things in place, and their token is next to worthless simply because of dumb management decisions and so on. Although it was quite decent at some point, as we can see. Yeah, and so it really will come down to so to say this. 26 cents would also not be a low value. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you have to spend your Pi right now at this value. But I'd be happy with that value as well if I look at other projects and how they have developed. Yeah, if we look at Mine Alpha, so Alpha Network that is like has less progress, less proof that things are legit and whatnot. You can see their value is like 1 point something cents, and that's like an artificial value. So and there is like more than 100 times more sell orders than there are buy orders because there's no demand for the coin. So even if you try to sell for that 1 cent value, it will take months. Initially, it went fast because they were the first buyers, but since then it would take months to sell even $10 worth of this coin, yeah, or token, or whatever you want to call it, yeah. So so as far what I think the value will be, I think it could go both ways. So it will definitely not be 314,000, but it could go both ways in terms of it could be $1, a couple of dollars or whatever. The higher it will be, the faster it will initially crash because there will be enough people that will cash out if they can get, again, $20, $50, $100, $1,000, $5,000. And so initially there will probably be a dump. But if the applications that are developed for Pi specifically, if there is a good app, it just takes one good app. Yeah, think of it like, for example, Flappy Bird, how that just rocked the world until the creator removed it because it was so addictive. Make a game like Flappy Bird in quotes that just somehow gets the same hype, but make it Pi exclusive where you actually have to, pay one Pi to play for a year or something like that. And voila, yeah, then you would have suddenly a huge number of people that flood toward, and if the sign-up process is easy, that's the other aspect there, yeah. So it could go one way and it has a high value. It could go that it launches with some sense and initially dumps lower. The core thing is, in my opinion, it will really come down to the apps. If there is a use case for Pi that gives people a reason, you shouldn't forget there's like 8 billion people that don't have Pi at all. And if you can reach, so 10% would be 800 million, so 1% would be 80 million, so more than the existing user base. So if you can reach 1%, 1 out of 100 people on this planet, and provide them with a use case that gives them a reason to buy Pi coins, yeah. So maybe you have something like eBay that runs on Pi, where you pay your auction fee with Pi coins or something like that. So you can sell and you sell for dollars or whatever, but you have to pay 1 Pi to list your item or so. And it's overall better or cheaper than the existing eBay or something. So whatever platform or app there is launched Pi exclusively, if there's one single app that attracts people and gives just 1% of the population, heck, even just 0.1% of the population on this planet a reason to use it, then the price would go up. Yeah. So it all comes down to the apps, and that will ultimately define the value. I think, however, that short term the value will probably plummet, because once it becomes tradable, there will be a certain number of users that just will try to cash out whatever they can. And so whatever the launching thing is like, yeah, so probably will have a plummet, yeah. Next question from Karam Chand, when will Pi be in the market? We don't know. So, I mean, technically you can already use it. The only restriction is you're not allowed to trade it. So you're not allowed to say, okay, I give you 5 Pi for 1 Bitcoin or vice versa. Or I give you 5 Pi for $10 or vice versa. However, you can still use it. You can buy, for example, this PlayStation. Again, this is just one vendor I tried. I know is legit. There are plenty other vendors out there, but I'm not going to show you something I haven't used myself. So if you don't like the, in this case, around 26 cents exchange rate, feel free to find a vendor that offers better exchange rates. But yeah, so you could buy this PlayStation for 2,100 Pi, and then you could sell the PlayStation for $500, $450 or so. Yes, you lose a little bit of money because you pay basically full price for the PlayStation, but nobody's gonna pay you full price when you sell it, yeah. But this is right now a legit way of cashing out if you want to. Vice versa, if you want to have more Pi coins, you can also do the same thing. You could either sell something you have, if you have an old phone you don't need anymore, or you have an old gaming console you don't need anymore. You could visit on Reddit. There is this subreddit called Local Pi. And there you can post your item. There somebody is selling their Samsung Galaxy J6, although with a broken screen, yeah. So here somebody in Germany is actually selling a PS5 Pro, yeah. So can actually point out, not to rain on your parade, but since people can get a brand new PS5 for 2,100 Pi, it makes little sense to pay more than that for a used one. Yeah. So yeah, so you can go to Trade Your Pi, and you can just, whatever you have and want to sell it there, and yeah, like get more Pi this way. So right now you're not allowed to trade it, but the workaround is sell stuff that you don't need, or even if you want to go and buy a new PlayStation and list it for whatever, 2,100 Pi, 2,000 Pi, whatever, and get more Pi this way. And if you want to sell your Pi, just buy an item and then sell it on eBay or whichever platform is in your country. Yeah, with that we covered that. Moving on. Do you know how many Pi we get for successful validation? It depends. Each user pays 1 Pi coin for the validation. I wish there would be a way to also highlight comments like this, but or like to highlight it in the stream, yeah. But so each user pays 1 Pi for the validation, and that is then split up among the validators involved. So it might be that it's 0.35 free Pi, it might be half a Pi, it might be 0.2. I don't know how many validators are actually the one that are considered involved in the validation, yeah. So, but it will be less than 1 Pi since the user is charged 1 Pi for the validation, yeah. Yeah, I don't know which video that is. Unfortunately, it doesn't show it because it's older. Yeah. I don't know what the comment is mean. So something with camera access. If you have hardware issues or so, just go to Reddit and then there go to the Pi Network subreddit and then ask for help there. There are more users. Like if you have an issue with an Android phone, I cannot help you because I don't have one. If you have a specific issue, I already passed KYZ. I cannot go back and check how it looks like. So yeah, so make sure to if you have specific hardware issues, go to the Pi Network subreddit, create a post, and don't just write it doesn't work, but include your phone, which operating system, which version, what exactly you are doing, and maybe a screenshot of the error you're seeing or what's going wrong. And somebody there is more likely to help you or be able to help you than if you write a comment on YouTube. Yeah. Be careful, however, people will then message you in direct messages and ask for your passphrase. As we covered earlier, do not share your passphrase. Yeah. So there are plenty of scammers out there. Keep the conversation in the post itself and you should be fine. Yeah. Thanks so much. Yeah, always great when people appreciate the content. How can I move my locked balance directly to a new wallet because it was hacked. Yeah, you cannot. Yeah, so your locked balance is locked in your wallet, and once it unlocks, the scammers or hackers or whatever will likely grab that as well, unless you're faster than them. So it comes down to, are they manually cleaning out the wallets? Are they using a script? If they're using a script, are they basically running it every minute? Or are they only running it once per day? So there is a chance, if you set a reminder for the exact date and time when your coins unlock, that you might be faster to transfer them away than the scammers are. But there's also a chance that you miss out on those coins as well. Yeah, it's an expensive lesson to learn, but it's a lesson learned nonetheless. Do not share your passphrase. Yeah, if your wallet got hacked, if your balance disappears, it's 100% because you either shared your passphrase or you stored it in an unsecure way, like again in a text document as a screenshot and so on, and someone somehow got access to it. Yeah, there is no way. You can Google it, you can do your own research how long it would take to guess or brute force a 24-word passphrase, and you will see it's just not possible. The number of atoms in the known universe is smaller than the possible combination of words for passphrases. Yeah, just to give you an idea. Yeah. Anyway, with that, we have reached 3 p.m. and we're gonna have a hard cutoff here for today. I hope you were able to get some answers to your questions today. And as always, don't forget, like, subscribe, enable notification. Oh, the animation is already gone. I was a little bit too slow, but yeah, you saw it. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Yeah, feel free to join back tomorrow if you have any specific questions that weren't answered today. And with that, I'm going to wish you a pleasant rest of the day, and then see you all the latest tomorrow with another episode of Common Chaos Live. Or alternatively, if you're into trading and investing, check out my other YouTube channel, Christian Rauchenwald, Popular Investor. It's also linked on my main channel page at the bottom. There I'm going to have another live stream in 24 minutes from now, where we look at my portfolio and the markets and how I try to beat them. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. Have a great rest of the day. See you soon. Till then, bye-bye.